Alright, I guess this is fucking happening. Recently I read a thread about Major Minor, and, like, I was doing research because I was planning on doing this eventually. And no, I didn't get this game fucking legally. Sorry. I'm not gonna tell you how I got it, but, so this game has a lot more problems than I remember, and it's, like, hilariously bad. Mainly around, like, the fourth chapter. I only ever covered the first chapter a few years back, like when I first covered this game. So I'm just gonna do it like how I did back in the day. Right now the music's all muted for me. I, like, muted up the music. The sound effects are still on though, so I'm gonna edit in the music and you'll hear whatever it is I put in. So hopefully it comes out well, because, like, the soundtrack is just, like, generic RPG Maker tripe from what I remember. There's nothing original that was composed for this game. Like, well, there was the song by Nice, but then they didn't put it in the game for some reason. So yeah, and if you get mad at me for not supporting Clace, like, he's a horrible person. I don't really feel like supporting him financially. So yeah, Cope. Okay, so we're gonna begin the game. Using multiple save files, bullshit. You don't, like, this is a lie. It's trying to act like Undertale, but the problem is it didn't exactly understand what I mean. So both keyboard and controllers, or enter window mode, F5 will return to menu. Okay. Please enjoy and choose wisely. Ding, ding, ding. Choose wisely. I'm gonna be, unlike I'm just gonna do the true ending route, so where am I? Is this outer space? No, it absolutely can't be. I never survive in the void. Scan my surroundings. Why is he should be an impossibility? A luminescent nebula gazes back at me. I swear, like, the one issue I have with this game is, like, how prose it is, like, purple prose. Like, it, like, goes on too long with, like, luminescent nebula, like, okay, whatever. It twinkles, dancing across the sky. It's beautiful, but I'm not here to stargaze. As I take in this scenario, I notice some key things. My feet are not on solid ground. I appear suspended. And for some reason, I'm able to hear and breathe. Those are the two things you can't do in space. Well, no shit, Sherlock. I count this as a blessing and focus on breathing. There were exercises I could use to calm myself down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Before I can count any higher, though, I'm interrupted. At that moment, I realize I'm not here by myself. I feel a hand rest upon my shoulder and I shiver. I expect to feel fear, but a rush of calm overtakes me. Hello, and welcome to the Ark. This is a very special place, you see. Only a select few are allowed to be here. Like Persona protagonists, you know. This is home to those touched by fate, imbued with the power most would call persona, I mean fiction. Others have come, but now it's your turn. First and foremost, I require a name. Something to remember in the annals of time. We must ensure that you aren't forgotten. Fine, I'll fucking put in a shitty name. How much characters do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to name him something really offensive, but I can't do that because then people will get really mad. What's, like, who's, like, the one character that no one likes from... Actually, no, I'll just name him the one name I know that I should name him because of the end of the game. Minato, It has a nice ring to it. I'm sure you'll be remembered. My name, you ask? I'm afraid that's unimportant. No one will remember me after this. Your presence here portends a grand fate, not just for you, but the universe, too. That is the purpose of those who come here. To that end, what else do they call you? Your surname is just as important. He says this, but I don't think anyone ever actually, like, says your surname, like, ever. I think the one time that it happens is, like, at the very end of the game, like, right before you're told that isn't your real name, so... And out of curiosity, I must know. Okay. Well, I went with Minato, so I'm gonna go with Arisato. Minato Arisato. Very well, the pleasure is mine. In giving me your name, the deed is done. Your service to me and the Ark is pledged. But do not worry, you're not a slave. Oh my god, I'm just getting like Vietnam fucking flashbacks. Like ever since like I did the first LP, Persona 5 came out. Oh my god. Your service rewards you with the power, something that most would kill to achieve. Keep this in mind, audience. Keep this in mind. Others must bend to the rules of the world, but for you, the opposite rings true. You are no longer a victim of circumstance. When you make a choice, reality will bend. Your every whim will fall to your lap. The universe now accommodates you. This is the power granted to you by the Velvet Room. This is the power granted to you by me. Oh, it appears you're fading away. Do you long to return to Earth? I understand there is fear in the unknown. I will find you again soon, and perhaps then we can talk a little more. Don't be scared, Minato, I mean no harm. Whatever you say. Would you like to save your game? So you can only really save whenever the game lets you save. Like there's a bug, but it's very specific that'll let you save whenever you want. So we'll save here, and I'll like continue on later. I had to delete all the save files that Mello left here, by the way. So let me scroll up. Because Mello had like 40 fucking saves or something like that. So we're gonna save here. Okay. Alright. I feel a rush of speed as I'm shot back into my body. It was almost as if my spirit momentarily left me. Who was that man and what was the Ark? I scratched my head in a state of sheer confusion. It definitely wasn't a dream, I know that for sure. When you wake up from a dream, you know it wasn't real. You laugh it off and continue on with your life. That's not the sensation I was feeling right now. Well, gee. I try to ground myself in reality. I take in my surroundings, the noise and the people. I focus on my destination, Tokyo, Japan. I feel myself calm down, slowly but surely. The anxiety starts to replace itself with excitement, though many would argue what the difference is. Who didn't dream of going to Tokyo in their lifetime? It had to be on the bucket list of millions of people. And it was the first of many places I'd visit, on what would surely be the best year of my life. I sit there, holding the armrest with a fierce grip. It wouldn't be long until I figured out how wrong I was. Well, I don't like either of these two people. I fucking hate them both of them. I want them to just like go away forever. You'll see why. I tried my best to maintain my composure. A can of Popstar held firmly in my grasp. I wasn't the one to drink energy drinks so leisurely, but I picked up what you might call an addiction. For a little bit more context, I'll say this. Popstar was the leading brand of energy drink. In fact, it was almost as popular as soda. It had full endorsement from a famous pop idol. The contest was held to coincide with this idol's new tour. 2 special cans were then thrown into the wild. Yo, Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory? Those that found them got to travel with the tour, almost like a golden ticket. It doesn't help your case when you point it out, Clace. Fuck, man. Contest made the drink skyrocket in popularity. It took the world by storm, a cultural phenomenon. The chance to live a life of luxury was hard to pass up. You know, I have to question when exactly the story takes place because I don't believe that in the year when this was made, which was 2016, 2015, when it was being made, mind you, that this would have, like, done anything. Like, I don't think, like, this isn't, like, the 80s or anything where, like, a pop star, like, what's the word, endorsing a product like this would make it skyrocket like that. In case you didn't know, the name of the idol was Clace because of course it fucking was, and Clace doesn't wear pants in this game. So when I say I picked up something of an addiction, that might actually be the understatement of the year. The odds of winning were literally in the billions, so it took a fair amount of chugging in order to win. How do you know that you won anyway? Like, is it in the can or something? Like, I asked myself if it was worth it, but that's subjective. At least that's what I told myself in between jitters. Being one of the lucky 2 came with its consequences. That's when the media called the prospective winners. Before I can continue thinking, I'm interrupted. Someone walking down the aisle had a nasty fall. They braced their descent and landed on the seat beside me. That takes a special kind of skill, doesn't it? He quickly rises to his feet, wearing a look of panic. Oh no, it's like, this is the character I actually hate, like, one of the characters I hate the most in this game. And another problem I have with this game is that there's only 2 sprites for every character, and one of them is like their intro sprite, and they're all basically the same pose. How am I gonna voice Keela this time? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry! Please forgive me! I nod in my head, it's not the end of the world. Aside from a minor fright, and everything is fine. Although maybe we could talk to pass the time. It was starting to get boring sitting by myself. First time on a train. Don't know what came over me. I just got dizzy and then bam! Sounds like someone had a vase of vertigo. A vase of Sertigo. I apologize again. Sorry for intruding, I really am. I tried to explain to him that everything is fine, but he seems to think he's committed an awful crime. Ah, shit. Your choices will affect the way you're treated. Okay. Before he can respond, however, an alarm sounds loud. You can change it. Okay. The train came to a screeching mechanical failure. I don't want to please anyone in this game. Fuck off. That's not good. Oh no! What was that? Are we going to die? I can't help but snicker at that. Literally one of those catastrophic cuts. Good thing I brought a clutch. Now I can be in power if we're stranded. What is he, SpongeBob? He goes to rummage through his bit of a bookworm too, isn't it? I decided to just sit back and wait. In situations like this, there was nothing else to do. I try and think of how I could pass the time. It might be a while until we're mobile. I can't use my phone for anything other than text. Data charges while abroad were a death sentence. Everyone back home would be asleep. There was quite the time difference at play here. My phone vibrates and I go to look at it, almost as if it knew I was thinking about it. It's Rook, the man I'm meeting at the train station. He's wondering where I am and I'm not sure what to say. How am I gonna voice Rook? Hey, you almost there? I can't wait all day, you know. Should I play it cool or let him know that we're stalled? I think in order to get the true ending, I have to like have a decent affection with Rook, and this affects his affection for some reason, so not much longer now! Rook, like your answer. I tell him that it won't be much longer. No point in having him worry over nothing at all. This will likely resolve itself momentarily. He seems happy at my response. Good to hear. You know I don't like standing for long periods of time. Much better than having him worry I might be late. Arguably for the best is he seems very obsessive, and that's his only character trait. And quite demanding too. Or I guess you do now, remember it. But I guess he's a busy guy. Places to be and whatnot. I won't hold it against him. I see that Squirrel is also eagerly texting away. I put my phone back in my pocket and reclined in my seat. I wasn't exactly sure how Rook was related to the place, but he had to be pretty high up there. I was only given concrete details last week. I thought there'd be limos and media coverage, but I was quickly told that this wasn't the case. I was getting picked up by a regular guy named Rook. I wonder if he would go full-on cliche, with a large piece of cardboard that says Minato. Oh man, I really hope we'll be okay. My train rides are usually incident-free. Usually, but he said this was his first time. He seems to contradict himself without realizing it. Well, as fun as awkward silences are, we should probably get to know each other, just in case we're stuck here forever. Oh, how fun would that be? Ugh. You can call me Keela. I'm here to see some friends. What about you? What brings you to Tokyo? It's nice to meet another English speaker. I only speak Japanese at a preschool level. I'm about to answer, but I stopped myself short. I have flashbacks when I signed the NDA. I wasn't allowed to publicly reveal why I was here, at least not until the media made it official. But then again, what harm could it do? It'd likely never find itself back to me. Plus, Keela could be impressed with who I really am. A friend would be great thing to have while abroad. I don't like Keela. I don't want to be friends with him. Fuck off, bitch. I'm sorry, I can't tell you why I'm here because you're a fucking faggot. Oh my god. I decided to stick to my morals and not break the NDA. It was probably for the best. Who wants a lawsuit and who wants a Jolly Rancher looking ass fool as a friend? Not me. If I did let out my secret and word got back to Rook, well, I'm sure there'd be hell to pay. Oh, you can't say? That's cool, I guess. I'm just here to visit my brother. Nothing to hide on my end, really. I thought he said he was here to meet friends. Now he's here to meet his brother? That seems odd. Nothing to hide, huh? I feel bad I can't tell him. He clearly realizes I'm hiding something. I'm still really excited. It's my first time in Tokyo. Gotta hit up all the maid cafes. Of course, typical tourist. What about you? Would you ever go to a maid cafe? I've heard they're just the best. Maid cafes, those were much like restaurants in Western culture. However, your waitress actually stays at your table. You can converse with them, play games, get to know them. It was definitely a foreign concept to me. How do I respond to Kilo? One thing about this choice, it really makes me mad because if you go this route, if you go to the maid cafe, you don't get the true ending whatsoever. But if you want the true ending, you have to avoid it, right? Which wouldn't be a big problem, but the problem is you meet a character there named Eclair, and she's probably the only character that's like actually good in this game. Like, she's supposed to be like a character for like Rook's development, but if you never go to the cafe, you never meet her. So later on in the story, when like one of the villains is blackmailing Rook about Eclair, like if you went with the true ending route, you're probably just gonna be like, who the fuck was she? Like, who is this? So we're not gonna meet Eclair. Sorry, that's what I did last time anyway. So fuck off, Kilo. Oh, that's a shame. I've heard that they scare foreigners, or at least they judge without trying. You shouldn't knock stuff before doing it. It's like eating ass. Who knows? You might end up liking it. Before I can continue talking, the train moves again, and the passengers are shaken up by the sudden movement. Killa beams I'm just gonna call him Killa. Killa beams a wide smile as if this was a major victory. Wow, I was scared for nothing. That didn't really last long at all. I hope he has fun wandering around those maid cafes, fucking virgin. They might not be my thing, but he sure seems excited. Personally, I was more excited to meet Rook. I wonder what he'd be like. An asshole, but he's still better than Killa. More importantly, I wonder how he'd treat me. He certainly seems like an interesting guy. For a moment, I'm glad I didn't break my NDA. I don't think I would have been able to face him if I did. I find it odd that I'm analyzing my previous actions, as if I could have changed what I said and what I did. Gee, I wonder, Clays. Perhaps it was because of that weird vision I had. I can control my own destiny, or something like that. What a ridiculous thing to comprehend. If I could control my destiny, I wouldn't be here. I'd probably be off somewhere living a life of luxury or dead. But there's no use thinking like that, so I stop. In an exact moment, a pain attacks my chest. More pain than I've ever felt before. It pulses with my increasingly fast heartbeat. I go to clutch my gut instinctively, only to find out I can't move. Everyone around me seems to have frozen in place. I start to panic. Focus on my breathing like before, but I can't breathe either. I sense someone behind me, and then I feel that hand on my shoulder again. Oh look, it's Igor. He fades away and I gasp loudly for... Is there something about his touch? Terribly sorry for... Our meeting seems to have been cut short. Perhaps you're destined to return to Earth. After all, the universe bends to you now. He's fucking... Am I that frightened? Either way, I sense conflict within you. You think what happened earlier was a dream. Yet now your dream stands before you. I am real. The Velvet Room is real. Big. And the power that you... Well, yes, it's totally, completely, undeniably real. I swear I am not lying to you. I am not here to lecture you anymore. Your words and actions are your own, as is the power I've given you that is totally not bullshit. However, you will be asked to help. You are not receiving this power, but I will let you run free for today. When I see you again tonight, I will tell you everything, and then your journey will begin. Would you like to save your game? And I think this is the end of the episode. I want to kill already. Like, there's already a bunch of shit that I'm not enjoying. So yeah, see you guys next time, whenever that is. Bye.